know it has been a while, but welcome to another Watch Me Work live stream. Today we're gonna do some illustration work. I also have a fancy little title graphics for this. We're gonna create some illustrations for an ice cream cafe, and yeah, I've already done some stuff for them in the past. You can see some of my previous illustration. They have a very particular crazy art style that the owner of the ice cafe wanted to hit, like a little bit scribbly, a little bit rough. I really love it. I really always like revisiting that style, and we're gonna create an illustration in that style, or you know, at least do a little bit of the planning for it here. Let's get rid of this thing here. Yeah, this is the first time that I'm live streaming in my new office. We moved, and everything is still in quite a bit of chaos. But yeah, I think everything should be set up at least for live streaming now. So let me know if you can't hear me so well or something like this. I can still tweak my live streaming setup as we go. Yeah, I also have to pull up the chat so I can actually see what you wonderful people are writing. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me okay, and then we're gonna jump right in. Oh, and by the way, here on the side, I think I'm gonna show some of the ice cream cups. My wife, she's a photographer, and she did some of the product photography for them, and they have those really crazy ice cream cups, which I think are really cool. Yeah, and we're gonna do some illustrations for them. The first one that I want to tackle is a sticker for a digital menu. It's a round sticker that people can find in front of them on the table, like, you know, somewhere in the middle here, and it should invite them to scan a QR code and then open a digital menu on their phone. And what the client wanted here, they wanted to have an illustration with two characters sitting at a table or on a bench, and there should be the boy that I already drew for another illustration. He looks into a classic menu, and the older guy, the man over here, he scans a QR code with a phone, and it's like kind of like, today's youth, they should go with the time, to kind of reverse those roles a little bit. Yeah. So we're gonna do that and think about just some rough ideas here, what we could do. Okay, so there, excuse me, I need to clear my throat, and I mute my... Alright, so there are kind of two different scenarios that we have. We can sit them down at a table. I am, by the way, doing the scribble work in Concepts today, which is a wonderful app for, I think, Windows, and I think just Windows. It's in the Windows Store. I can really recommend it for scribbles and concept art. So we would have like the bearded guy over here, and the kid over there. Kid has a big menu. Maybe you can't even see him that well. I guess you need to see a little bit of his face. There we go. Just doing a really rough scribble here. How did we have them in the past? Okay, he has the hair going over to the left. And then this V-neck. And those chubby cheeks. I think he's a bit too tall here. Hello, Prince Almighty. Nice to see you. You are awesome. Giving that compliment right back. Okay, and the father shows how it's done with the QR code scan. And there should be the QR code on the table. I mean, it's kind of be like an Inception scene, or it could be an Inception scene where the sticker on the table could actually be the, you know, that exact same illustration. And it's like, you know, the situation where you have a picture and a picture and a picture. I think that could be fun. Is this even his right hand? I think this is his left hand. So maybe that's even better. So we can have the other hand coming from here. And we have the other hand free. We could just place it on the table or, you know, use it to gesture somehow. Hey Mudya, I am drawing on a Cintiq 24 HD. It's a display. But I have to say, while I was setting up my office, because I just recently moved, I was back drawing on a drawing tablet, and at first I really hated it, but then I realized, like, no, this is actually kind of, like, I feel like it was better for my back to draw on a drawing tablet, to draw down here and look at the monitor in front of me, rather than looking down at something. You know, if you have a drawing display on the table or a piece of paper, you're kind of always straining your neck looking down. So, I don't know. This time I propped up my Cintiq straight in front of me. So I wonder how that works, if that's gonna help me a bit with my neck and back pain. Because if it doesn't, I think I might switch back to drawing tablets. I have a Intuos drawing tablet laying around here that I could use for that. Put his sunglasses into like the chest shirt pocket. It's too much detail at the chest. Alright, so this is the situation of them sitting at the table, and there could also be the situation of them sitting on a bench. And whew, I don't really remember the benches anymore that they had at the cafe. Maybe I go for a full frontal one. Full frontal shot. But what is he scanning if they are just here at the table? Maybe they have like a column here where they have the QR code for the Karte, for the menu. And the dad character is like here. How does his full body look? I think his legs are super tiny. Super short legs. I love strong cartoony stuff like this, I really do. Wish I could do it more often. In a lot of client works, like many clients always want stuff to be more realistic, like especially in the business world, you know. You don't have the super fun cartoony stuff there. Which I always think, like, you know, why not? Why don't you dare yourself as a business to have a more crazy illustration style? And I'm really glad that they do it here at the Ice Cafe. Alright. I don't think I like this as much as the sitting at the table situation, because, you know, sitting at a bench is more like waiting for the bus. And they don't even have their ice cream yet because they are ordering it. So I can't really bring the ice cream into play here yet. Strong. Let me see if I can show the chat questions on screen. Just a second here. There. Facebook streams. Which drawing tablet can you recommend for beginners? To be quite honest, nowadays it does not really matter. Nowadays you can use almost any drawing tablet, even from like the cheaper brands, quote unquote cheaper. I heard good stuff from Huion and XP Pen. But you know, the professional product line is of course from Wacom. The Wacom Intuos drawing tablets are or have been used in the artist community for a long time. But you know, other manufacturers are catching up. Supposedly the XP Pen and Huion tablets are also really good. So yeah, and for the size, I would recommend observing how you draw. There are some people who like to draw like in big, broad strokes, or they are taught this way. Like if you go to certain art courses and you learn how to do like life drawings and stuff, there are a lot of teachers who really push you to be like big and broad, and then you might need a bigger tablet. But if you're like me, if you give me a piece of paper, like I will scribble forever, like just in the corner of the paper. I will draw extremely small. Like my comfort zone for drawing is like this big. So personally myself, I only need a drawing tablet that gives me like this much drawing space. So yeah, that's what I can say about the size and about the manufacturers. Manufacturers, just see what you find from Wacom, XP Pen, Huion, and size, just observe your drawing habits and what size you need there. I don't think it's gonna be the bench drawing. I really like, as I'm drawing it, I'm like, meh. This is not gonna work. Yeah, the boy has a very chubby cheek face. Very cliche pose with the hand for, you know, thinking about what ice cream to get. Yeah, I think it has to be the situation at the table, because if you're sitting down in a cafe, it's just, you know, here at the first glance, you know what they're doing. You know he's ordering food, because that's just like this instant connotation, this instant association, I think. And here you're like, are they waiting for the bus? Where are they sitting? I think it has to be at the table. Now, one other thing I could imagine for them is to be like more like sideways, you know, more like this. Maybe, and have the sticker here with the QR code for the digital menu, and then they could be like across from each other, like The dad could be here. I'm gonna flesh that out later. And the boy could be like here. And then we would gain all this space here for text on the sticker, which I think could be very good because, you know, this illustration is supposed to promote the digital menu. So interesting point here in the chat. I bought a Wacom table, but the issue is I can't handle the pen. My hand is shaking while I see the screen. My hands go out of the tablet. They go out of the tablet. Then you probably... Your hand goes out of the... Are you sure that you have it configured as a tablet and not as a mouse? You need to download the official Wacom driver to work properly, because technically a Wacom tablet should never go out of frame while drawing, because, you know, the position of the drawing tablet, like, you can easily check this. If you have your tablet set up as a mouse, you can push your mouse up. Like, you can go with the mouse cursor on the screen, you can go all the way at the top by doing this, by just pushing up and up and up, and then your mouse is out of the screen. If it's like this, then your tablet is configured wrong. If you have it like that, it's configured like a mouse. It needs to be configured like a drawing tablet, meaning that if you hover with your tablet here, the mouse cursor should, if you hover with the pen here, the mouse cursor should jump to that position. And this way, you know, if you're all the way at the far right, it should be at the far right of the screen and not off the screen yet. And that helps you to stay inside the tablet because, you know, outside of the tablet is also outside of the screen. So if you have it set up that way, you should not accidentally go off screen. What does take a lot of practice though is like this, you know, drawing here and looking somewhere else. That is very difficult. That's gonna take a couple weeks, you know, also months and years until you've really mastered it. But, you know, this first week with the drawing tablet is really weird. Even if you have configured it perfectly, I can totally understand that this is problematic and, you know, a huge change from going to pencil to going to drawing tablet. But yeah, maybe you should also try a display. As I said, it doesn't have to be Wacom. There are other good manufacturers like Huion and XP Pen that also have drawing tablets that cost half the price that Wacom pen costs, Wacom screen costs. Okay, so the boy is gonna look over here into the... into the menu. Oh boy. Since the move, I haven't really done much creative work. For another client, I do a lot of web design and front-end web development stuff now. So I'm so glad to be back at the drawing board, but it also feels like I have still some getting used to drawing again. Plus, having changed the position of my Cintiq after the move. Alright, let's bend him a little further over than I did in the scribble. How's that facial expression with the eyes closed? I think that could be would be quite nice. Okay, so where's his right hand? His right hand is still the back. In the back. And maybe we could use the other hand to gesture something. To be a little more notable. Yeah, and he's scanning the QR code for the... at the bottom. Which software are you using for drawing? I'm currently drawing in Concepts, which is great for these kinds of scribbles and, you know, thumbnailing. I always use it for that. Because it has like an infinite to all sides canvas. You can go to all sides and you don't have the restriction of a page. Yeah, I think it's available for Windows tablets, for Windows systems and tablets. Hey, Abdul. Abdul is watching from Tanzania. That's great. Isn't that wonderful how the internet has us coming together? I think this is already pretty good. I wonder if we could bend him over even more. And we have the code here. And this time we have the father leaning in like all the way. All right. Let's try that half-closed eye expression again. Maybe now that his body is leaned so far up, we can actually have like a little sass in the hips. Yeah, I'm still thumbnailing. I'm still trying different variations of the same thing. Maybe the boy could this time look up from the menu and be more like, oh, what cool thing is daddy doing there? So he's more like, oh cool, I want to do that too. Which I think, you know, for this being like an advertisement for this function, probably makes a lot more sense. I still like the second one a lot. I think it's gonna become this one for today. Shall we look at some more ice cream? That was a really fun photo shoot. I was helping with taking the photos, and we were allowed to try all of the ice cream. We could just, you know, whenever we liked how a cup of ice cream looked, we could grab it after the photos were done, and we could just eat it. We ate so much ice cream that day. Yeah, oh, I love these kind of candy. Like in Germany, we have this brand called Kinder, children. They have like this very sweet chocolate candy, I guess intended for children, but it's one of my favorite kinds of chocolates. It's always filled with all kinds of awesome, like, milk cream, nut cream, fluffy stuff, really nice. And those also look super fruity and yummy. Yeah, so in conclusion, I love working for an ice cream place. I think I'm gonna save this, and we're gonna pull it over into Toon Boom Harmony, because that's where we're gonna do the line art. Export as a PNG. Yes. Alrighty. Now where do I want to save this? I made a folder before this live stream. Alright, here, scribbles. Father and son. Cards, or digital menu, I guess. That's what it's called. Abdul says I do illustration, cartoon, and whiteboard. Like whiteboard animations for clients. That's really cool. Abdul says, can you be my mentor? Well, at the moment I'm quite busy, but we do have a mentorship program actually on Animator Island. We do have, let me show the link. Yeah, at the moment, if you go to animatorisland.com/group mentoring, you can find out more about our group mentoring sessions. It's a tier on Patreon. If you support me on Patreon in the group mentoring tier, then you get access to a monthly group mentoring session. And you can submit anything you want for that group mentoring session. You can send me an animatic, you can send me an animation to critique and draw over and give you advice for. You can send me character designs, scripts, ideas. We can talk about everything. Even, you know, stuff like career advice or project management, anything art and animation related. And I will give you feedback, and in the future it won't just be me. I will also invite other mentors, people that have experience in different fields of animation and can give their different perspectives on things. Yeah, so that is the group mentoring on animatorisland.com. So if you want any input, this monthly group mentoring session is a good place. Get it, and it's available when you support me on Patreon, patreon.com/animatorisland. And yeah, that's I think currently the best option. I'll see what I can do once I have a little bit more time. But at the moment, group mentoring is the thing that works the best for me, and I think it's also super great in the group to get the feedback not only from mentors, but to also talk with other students and to see what other students submit as work and what questions other people have. Hi Dennis, nice to see you. Dennis just joined us. We're doing illustrations for an ice cream place. They have this digital menu where they have a sticker on the table, and you can scan the QR code on the sticker, and then you can access the menu on your phone. And I'm doing some illustrations for them, an illustration to promote their digital menu. Actually, for that sticker. Oh my god, I feel like I'm pitching that way too complicated. There's a sticker with a QR code. If you scan that, you get the digital menu of the ice cream place, and we're doing an illustration for this right now. We have the boy here, picking from a classic menu, and the old timer, the father guy, he is modern and uses his phone. So that's the thing. We just finished the scribble, so let me import that. We're now in Toon Boom Harmony for no other reason than I made the other illustrations for them in Toon Boom Harmony. And yeah, I have a brush set up for that. Oh, and actually, now that I remember it, a color palette too. I should import that first before we forget. The confusing thing, you can only import color palette or link to external with right click, link to external in Harmony. I don't understand why it doesn't offer the same option and like when you click on the folder and stuff. And I guess link palette, but then it has to be from the environment. I don't know. I have the color palette saved somewhere outside of all the Harmony projects. There we have them. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so now we have the color palette, and the more important thing, the brush is like one of the first brushes that I ever built in Harmony, because I wanted to work in vector, but I wanted it to have a little bit of this like scribbly, charcoaly, paper structure kind of line. So yeah, and I did prepare that here, so I'm gonna use that. But other than that, of course, you know, people always ask what software should they use. You can use pretty much anything that works for you. There's no particular reason why I'm using Harmony today. Dennis says QR code is the thing. Yeah, I have to confess, I actually I feel like I have never... I mean, with the Corona stuff, there now are QR codes where you can check in, you know, for logging where you've been and stuff like that. I think that was the first time in a long time that I actually used QR codes. But yeah, I love the idea. I love the idea of just scanning something and then you have something on your phone, like a menu. It's a cool thing. Let's see. Dennis has a question. I work as a motion designer and 2D animator, but I don't like After Effects and 2D. I'm more into 3D and want to do 3D animations, so on, but I keep getting generalist jobs mostly. Ah, so already 3D generalist jobs. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple different strategies you could follow. The thing with 3D is, I feel like for 3D, you find the work that you want much easier if you look for a studio that does the work that you would like to do. Because I feel like in 2D, you know, there are a lot of generalists and freelancers doing all sorts of things, films from start to finish. And often you can do that on your own, but in 3D, you know, once it gets into bigger projects, you really need that structure that a bigger studio has. You need different modelers, different different texture artists and stuff, and then you can be hired as the animator there. You recommend that we should get these jobs? I mean, you know, everybody's life and preferences are different, but it does sound from how you ask the question that I think for you, you should have a look into that. You should have a look into applying at different 3D places. And it sounds like you already have 3D experience, so, you know, as long as you have a demo reel, as long as you have something to show, that is your key in, you know. If you have an awesome reel, people will definitely consider you, or at least, you know, put you in a contact archive and dig your stuff out when they need to hire. So yeah, go do it. Go get that job. And you know, if your portfolio is not big enough yet, then you know you need to do some weekend projects and try to create something that you can show at these places to show other people that you can do this stuff. Oh yeah, I mean, it's cool that you know that you tried the other route. Always good to try different things and then see what you like. Alrighty. No, wait, I wanted to import. Can I just drag and drop it in here? I hope I can. Rules, there we go. No, I can't. Of course I can't. You can do it in OpenToonz, which is just free. But you can't do it in a several thousand euro costing professional animation software. Alright, so import images. Yeah. Give me that picture. Toon Boom bitmap, yeah, whatever. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I think that it's not too bad for the circle sticker. Maybe we should plan real quick where the text is gonna go. Maybe down here we have, like, you know, digital menu. And well, we kind of also need to have the QR code on this thing, you know. Alright, maybe we should also plan, you know, that this is gonna be a round shape. I'll let the computer do the round shape. Can do that much better than I can. Alright. And here we need to... Oh, that one. This. And it says, I love VR, AR, all these things motion capture. Once you get into these projects and do 3D, all that. feel like you're in cutting edge of the industry in terms of new techniques and so on. That's a really good point. I think there's still so much to discover in virtual reality and augmented reality. Like, I feel like we haven't even discovered yet how we really need to tell stories in AR. At least, you know, the last time I played AR games and stuff, it was all nice, but I feel like, you know, for the sense of like a narrative, I have not had yet a VR experience where I was like, oh, this is a cool story, and this can only be told in VR. There are some game mechanics, I think, that I've seen that can only be done in VR. But I don't know, like, it's really exciting. There's still a lot to discover. Okay, so digital menu. There's really not a lot of space here. Scan. One thing I don't like about animations is no matter how much effort you put into your work, all nice arcs, 12 principles applied very well, yet the client doesn't understand any of these. Caring about other things. Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult thing with a client and artist relationship, I feel like always, not only in animation. Probably not just... This is probably also a problem outside of art, you know? You as the expert, you always wanna, you know, deliver expertly crafted work. And for you as an expert, that means something else for you than it does for the client. And I think it's an interesting, you know, it kind of also has to be a balance. Like, even the most beautiful and fluent animation doesn't help the client if it doesn't help the client achieve his goal. Like, if the goal of an animation was to promote a product and then nobody buys, but the animation is super beautiful, then the animation works for the animator because the animation is super beautiful, but the animation doesn't work for the client because the animation doesn't work as an advertisement. And it's kind of difficult to find like the balance of both, where you still get paid enough, where the budget is big enough that you can make awesome, decent animation. But also, you know, it needs to achieve the client's goals and stuff like that. And in commercial animation, or, you know, animation for hire, for projects, I feel like that's always an interesting battle. Hello, Mehi. Nice to see you on the stream today. Okay, scan. And this can be the QR code here. Or you know what? It could also be even bigger if we do like scan or what am I writing here? And you know, QR code here. Now, the question is, does he actually say something? Does he actually say, like, hey, young people, this is how it's done? I don't know. The client was requesting something like this, like a nice little calling out. Ah, Dennis talking about AR now. AR is not much you can do with low poly characters, at least. You can make really nice animations and push in terms of length. You can go as much as you want, but there's a limit. Yeah, cool thing. I would love to explore more AR kind of projects. See what's possible there. Now let's make some room here so we can see character designs. That was an illustration I did previously. More stuff about the AR. Of course, to not make the internet data slower, because users get to see your work through their voice scanning QR, and your stuff appears in your screen and even shows up AR like holograms. Yeah, I love that hologram effect. If you look through your phone camera and you see an AR creature standing somewhere. I love Pokemon Go for that. I feel like Pokemon Go, that was a good, perfect use for AR. I mean, it's a little gimmicky still, but you know, it's a core mechanic of the game to catch Pokemon. It just makes so much sense to use AR for that. I mean, the tracking is not like super solid, at least the last time I played, but it's a nice effect to see them in the real world. All right, I think I need to decrease the size a little bit. Do we go with that decision that the boy is looking just at the menu, or do we have him look up and be amazed by the father using the QR code scanner? I'm not quite sure about that, but you know, we can try different things. So let's call this boy 1. I love this style that is like a little bit dirtier, a little bit more edgier. think his mouth looks better when it's smaller. Hi Shen47, sorry I didn't see your message. I'm good, how are you? I'm excited to having finally moved into my new apartment. This is the first time streaming from the new office. Really excited about that. I'm still not sure about how good the internet quality is here, but I think so far it works quite well. Let's do the ear first. Have a nice thick line at the bottom and have it be thinner up there. Hey Pratik, you are great! Gotta give the compliment back. Yeah, no, seriously, thank you so much for everybody for showing up for today's stream. I'm always happy to have some people to talk to and not just, you know, sit here alone. All alone. I do think the boy has to react to the QR code thing. That makes, like, from a storytelling perspective, that makes more sense to have him really react to the father. You know, because then it's a story if he's just ignoring him. Okay, having him look over. And then we need to lower the menu. Sometimes those simple styles are not so simple to do because, you know, every line suddenly matters so much with reduced styles. So, you know, just because a drawing has less lines sometimes doesn't mean that it was easy to do. Like, you can definitely see how some logo designers need to spend like forever to get a logo done. Yeah, I think that's nice. Have him look over. It's interesting that we were talking about AR earlier, because the ice cream place, they were actually thinking about doing something with AR. Like, we were thinking about long-term doing animations with those characters dancing, and then maybe putting up QR codes or something all over the stores. And if you look through it through a certain app, not sure what app that could be, you can see the characters dancing on the table. They also have like these monkey characters that I think would be really fun for that. So yeah, if you're doing that, I'm definitely also gonna animate that live. Because I haven't done a nice dance loop in a while, and I love animating to music. Happens far too rarely nowadays. Alright, so that's it for the boy. Let's have a look at the other character now. Hello, Infinite Imagination. Nice to see you. Oh, it has been a long time that I could live stream. I missed you all. I love that nose. So... so bulbous, so wild. That nose. Hi Robin, yeah, I am German. Did I ever draw this guy's eyebrow? I don't think I did. Ah, here. A little squiggly, okay. We can do that. That's the disadvantage if you don't have like a clear model sheet. And you still need to make up stuff about your character. AtTheMonkey.com is complaining. I did get a personally sent invitation to this. Bah! Yeah, sorry Fred. Sorry JK. Yeah, this was a little bit of an unplanned live stream. I hope that at the weekend we have like something more animation related, something more, I don't know, bigger in that we actually have some animation topics. I just needed to get these illustrations done and figured why not live stream in like after forever. And I have to say I really missed it. Tweeted it out anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind hanging out with people. The more the merrier. Okay, so maybe we do have him lean a little bit more over. And have him be like, hey, I can use technology. I'm a bit afraid that maybe we chose a brush size too small. He has those little sausage fingers. I love doing stuff like this. I love styles where you can just have like a loop instead of details. You know, you're just like, oh, and there you have a fist. There. I love styles where this works. Hi V the artist. Yes, Robin, this is Harmony. But actually for no other reason than that I did the previous illustrations in Harmony. And I have the brush and everything, color palettes already prepared. Because usually on this channel we recently always jumped into open tunes. Almost everything. And this is an exception. Give me a nice elbow. I don't think my posture is actually better now that I propped up the Cintiq. Still need to remind myself to pull my shoulders back. Billy asked, "Is this a game UI or something?" No, this is gonna be a sticker on the tables of an ice cafe, and if you scan it with your phone, you can access the menu from there. So it's like a little, not an advertisement, but it's showing you that this is a possibility. It's calling out this feature. Oh man, it's really not easy to find like just the right lines for this supposedly sloppy style. Crazy how much work that still is. All right, we have him leaning forward. Maybe we could pull up the phone a lot higher. You know, so we get like this triangle in the image composition, and you see the phone even more clearly. Yeah, I think that's better. Though it's getting a little bit difficult to hold for him. Okay, he has these sausage fingers. Might have to cheat the back arm a little. Yeah, or a lot. Probably. But, you know, cheating is part of illustration. So much. Ah, I think this is actually not too bad. There we go. Such a pointy elbow. And now my favorite part in this, the hair here. Where we can do our messy scribbles. I love lines like that. Yeah, I think just lines works better with this. With this style. JK is still talking about these lines. Miserable to keep track of for animation, but lovely when doing in still images. Yeah, I would probably, like, if this was animation, I would probably copy some of these lines over and then just use like the contour editor to like make them shift or move. Or like even like rig them in some way, put them on a bone or two or three, so you deform them with the bones and you don't have to draw them again and again. Bearded guy looks like one of my old bosses. Ah, wonderful. I love drawing characters. Like, I also feel like, I've seen this guy before. If a caricature gets so general that you can see other people in it that you know. I love that. I don't know, maybe it still has to be... I don't know, that you don't understand that. He's holding it too far to the left. See how far we can back this up. Doot, doot, doot. Doot. Like that. I don't know. That now makes more sense placing wise, but that's a horrible position for the arm. No. That was good. Okay, let's cheat and put the sticker a little further up. He's talking too, that should help the clarity. Yeah, I'm not sure about the text yet. The client wanted something like, youth today, not going with the times, you know, because the boy is still looking in the traditional menu. But, I mean, there will be a lot of text around it saying how, you know, you have to scan it with your phone. So I think the associations that you need should all be there. Yeah, it's getting there. Somehow his beard was more awesome in the original. Do a second try with that. Shave him off. Paper menu? Bah! Text code, you need to make the arm look like it's hanging in the air more. A second to do a physical representation of what you're trying to do. Yeah, I mean, I did think about a more realistic placement earlier. It's just that, you know, the way you actually scan a QR code is you still look at the phone because usually you have to do it. I mean, I guess it could be almost parallel. But yeah, you would do it much lower over the table, but I don't think I want to do that. Because this way, it catches the attention really nicely. Phone can go back a little bit in the hand though, so that might work in our favor. Yeah, I think that could work a little better. Don't want to put too much detail into the and under it. Maybe it does look better with the hand under it. This might also solve our problem with the bend. That we have some more space for some details here. Now we need to drag the phone out a little bit again. I think that makes it a bit more clear. Alright, so we wanted to do the mustache too. Like, I feel like the old one was more going up also. Yeah, that's better. That's okay, I think. More of a chest here. Yeah. Maybe getting rid of some detail here. I'm not sure. I don't think you need that there. Yeah, Chad is leaning more towards the lines for the flash. I don't know, I keep changing my mind. We had it earlier with the lines, and I like that too. Like, I don't wanna, I feel like having it that broad, like, that looks the best. I like that the most. Just from the visual quality, from the image. But I feel like the message is more clear if we have it like really shooting out to the QR code, you know? Maybe interrupted lines. That's something we didn't didn't try yet. That's too much going on. Alright. Let's use that for now. I think the father could actually be bigger. Yeah, now I think the sizes make more sense. Actually, you wouldn't need a flash for a QR code. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. The app that I use sometimes does flashes if it's getting too dark. I guess nobody will sitting out there when it's really dark in the outside of the cafe, but it can happen, is my point. My story makes sense. Good luck with your work. Text code. What program? We are working in Toon Boom Harmony, but for no particular reason we are not using any animation tools that are exclusive for Harmony. This happened to be the software that I did some illustrations in previously, and I'm just, because I have all my brushes and color palettes here, using it again. I like that this now gives me a little bit of like an asymmetric thing. I mean, I could push him further up, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I have to say I really like the drawing tools in Toon Boom too. Like, I feel like out of most vector brushes, this is one of the best ones to tweak. Like OpenToonz somehow feels very unpredictable how the line's actually gonna turn out. And yeah, in general, I'm a huge fan of like what we actually haven't used it. I still need to get used to drawing in Harmony again. But what I absolutely love in Harmony is this edge cutter tool, where you can go in and you can just with the cutter, you can just cut off those extra lines. I just love this. I really don't like it when a vector software doesn't have it. So I'm like, if Harmony has it, why can't you? Yeah, yeah, speaking of which, we can use it here to get rid of this one and this one. I still miss his arm hairs. They need to come. They are such a big part of his character. Erasing by hand like a Neanderthal. Yeah, the computer should do the work. And one day we will have an artificial intelligence that will just keep erasing our lines because they are not good enough. And then it will correct them. I need to research how much of a QR code you can actually cover up. I think it would be cool if the QR code would still be in the middle, like this, and the head is like kind of over it. I think because QR codes, they have like a lot of redundant information, you can probably, you can probably do that. I wonder if the menu, traditional boring menu, needs to be a bit bigger. All right. I think this doesn't look too bad. All right. Let's see if there are any more questions in chat. Nothing big to answer. Program, we talked about that. All right. Because I think, unfortunately, yeah, I have to stop soon. But if there are any more questions or anything to talk about in the chat, just let me know. I still have a couple of minutes. Yeah. Kinda lost his freckles a bit. All right. Yeah, I think we can leave it like this. I mean, I still have to send it to the client and see what they say about it before I continue. Yeah. Illy says this was cozy. I agree. It was really nice to hang out with all of you and yeah, talk about different things in the chat. It's always nice. And I'm so glad that I have my office set up this way now that we can hopefully stream much more often. I'm even building something, like I'm really looking forward to that. I'm building something, a second webcam that goes over here so I can draw on paper over there and then, switch to a scene where you can see what I'm drawing on paper. Because I feel, for scribbles, like ideas and brainstorming, I just love drawing on paper. For a lot of the stuff that we do, it makes sense to work digitally, but I don't know, working on paper has its own kind of charm, and I feel like works different with the brain for when you're brainstorming. So that's the thing that I'm doing. Oh, and I have another project that I can already talk about. I bought a secondary keypad, which just has the num block. And the plan is to remap those keys so that I have like undo, redo, save, the brush tool, select tool, you know, all of these mapped to the secondary keyboard. Then I could put that down here, and I don't have to use those big shortcuts anymore. I can just press one button to do something. So yeah, this is my project for the next evening, to get that to work. And if I figure out how this can be done, I think I'll make a tutorial or something about it, because I think that could be really useful. Paper also uses less space. Computer space is always a worry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about less space. If I think about, we just recently moved, and I found so much old paper, and I couldn't throw it away. Like I have like folders of old drawings and stuff, and I don't know. I moved it all here. I couldn't make a decision to throw anything away, so I don't know. At least if it's a hard drive, it would be like one little hard drive or something. I don't know. Maybe I should digitalize it. Maybe I should have a look at some of my old drawings. It's crazy how, like, if you look at your very early work, how you're like, did I draw that? Was that a different person? JK also says I have a closet full of sketchbooks. Yeah. Yeah. It all has advantages and disadvantages. Hi, 24GB. We're unfortunately already at the end of this stream, but good that you could be here, at least for the end. Alright, so I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and Hilly also has a shelf full of sketchbooks. I have to say though, one thing that I love about old sketchbooks is you take them out and look at them and can be like, oh my god, this is cool. And then you can maybe, if you find old drawings that are really cool, you can like scan them again, or, you know, like you discover them again. I feel like a file on a hard drive, if you put files on a hard drive, save it somewhere, like even with photos, like I think I have photos from a couple holidays on my hard drive, but I never look at them again, you know? With a sketchbook, I can just pull out it and look at it again. I feel like that's a huge difference too, between digital and physical. Oh well. Yes, JK, it would be awesome, Fred the Monkey, if you could be around again for the next one. We should make a more planned one, and, you know, maybe have also some topics prepared and things to do in advance. That would be wonderful. I would really love to do that. Okay, so everybody, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I had a great fun time, and, you know, we also did something decent here, I think. And yeah, I hope to see you all again for the next live stream and tutorial here on this channel. Have a great, fantastic day, evening, whatever it is in your part of the world, and keep on animating. Bye bye!